Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Excellent Economics. In this video, we will discuss about Hyderabad University MA Economics Entrance Questions Paper of 2019. In our previous video, we have already covered up to question number 20. So in this video, we will start from question number 21. And before coming to the questions, if you have not subscribed yet, then please subscribe this channel and press the bell icon so that you can get instant notification of my upcoming videos. Thank you. Now coming to question number 21. For a sample data, if mean is less than median, median is less than mode, then the distribution is. And given options are skewed to the left, or first option is skewed to the right or positive skewed distribution. Second, skewed to the left or negative skewed, and third one is symmetric, and last one is none of the above. And as we know, in case of symmetrical distribution, mean is equal to median, median equal to mode. But in case of asymmetric distribution, means the distribution, it may be positively skewed or it may be negatively skewed. And in case of negatively skewed distribution, the tail of the distribution, it lies to the left, as I have shown in the diagram. And in case of negatively skewed distribution, the value of mode, it lies to the extreme right, and the value of mean is lies to the extreme left, and the value of median is always lies at the middle. So in case of negatively skewed distribution, the value of mode is greater than value of median, and value of median is greater or more than value of mean. So we can say, in case of negatively skewed distribution, mean is less than median, which is less than mode, and the reverse or the opposite happens in case of positively skewed distribution. So here the correct answer is negatively skewed distribution or skewed to the left. Now in case question number 22, which one is not an assumption of the Mahalanobis two-sector model? Given options are: the economy consists of two sectors, consumption good and capital goods. The economy is open and free, foreign trade operates. No changes in prices. Then full capacity production takes place. And in case of Mahalanobis two-sector model, the economy is open and free, foreign trade operates, is not an assumption of the Mahalanobis two-sector model. And the other three, which are given in option A, C and D, are the assumption of two sectors Mahalanobis model. But the option B, the economy is open and free, foreign trade operates, is not an assumption of the Mahalanobis model. So here the correct answer is option B. Now answer the following three questions 23 to 25 based on the information in box 1. And here in the box it is given that demand and supply function in a competitive markets are given as D equals to 40 minus 4P, S equal to 5P minus 5 respectively, where P is the prices of the commodity, D is the demand and S is the supply quantity. Now so here one demand function and one supply function is given of a perfectly competitive markets. And now in question number 23 in box 1, quantity Q and price P at the equilibrium point will be equals to. Here the question is about the equilibrium level of quantity and equilibrium price, and as it is given the demand function and the supply functions are given, so equilibrium price and quantity can be determined by equalizing demand function with supply function. So we have to just equalize the two function 40 minus 4P with 5P minus 5. So demand equal to, if demand becomes equal to supply, then equilibrium will be takes place. So if demand equal to supply, that means 40 minus 4P equal to 5P minus 5, then it 9P becomes 45, or P will be 45, 9P becomes 45. So P will be 45 divided by 9, which is equal to 5. So price will be equals to 5 per units. And if we put the value of price, which is equal to 5, in any of the above equation, either in demand equation or in supply equation, then we will get the value of quantity, which will be equals to 20. So here the correct answer is quantity, equilibrium quantity is equal to 20, equilibrium price is equal to 5 units, which is given in option A. So option A is the correct answer. Remember, in order to find out equilibrium quantity and equilibrium price, we have to equalize both the equation, demand equation with supply equation. Just use the formula demand equal to supply, then we can find out the value of P, price and equilibrium quantity. Then the next one, from information in box 1, which of the following statements is true? Demand curve is downward sloping with a slope of +5 and supply curve is upward sloping with a slope of +40. Demand curve is downward sloping with an intercept of -4 and supply curve is upward sloping with an intercept of +5. Demand curve is downward sloping with a slope of -4 and supply curve is upward sloping with a slope of +5. None of the above. Now this question is about the slope of the demand curve and supply curve and intercept of the demand curve and supply curve. As the demand curve is given as 40 minus 4p, so here 40 is the intercept of the demand curve and -4 is the slope of the demand curve. Similarly, here supply function is 5p minus 5, so here -5 is the intercept and 5 plus 5 is the slope of the supply function, and here it is given in option C that demand curve is downward sloping with slope of -4 and supply curve is upward sloping with slope of +5. So option 3 is the correct answer. And remember, here the slope and intercept we can find out from the demand function and the supply function. The coefficient of P, in case of demand function, the coefficient of price is -4, which is the slope of the demand function. In case of supply function, the coefficient of price is 5, so here 5 is the slope of the supply function. So for demand function the slope is -4, for the supply function the slope is +5. So here the correct answer is option C. Now the next, in box 1, if a commodity tax of ₹1 per unit is levied, the total government tax revenue collected will be equal to approximately. As we have already discussed about the equilibrium quantity and price, the equilibrium quantity was 20, as it is given in question number 23. The equilibrium quantity was 20 and price was 5 per unit. So if government will impose commodity tax of ₹1 per unit, then total tax revenue collected will be equal to, as it is total quantity, equilibrium quantity is 20. So government will can also collect revenue as 1 unit or ₹1 per unit. So total collection, it will be near about ₹20, but with the rise in price there will be little fall in the quantity demanded, so it will be less than ₹20 or near about ₹20. So approximately it would be, if we use the elasticity, approximately it would be ₹18, as equilibrium quantity was ₹20. Now with the rise in price of ₹1 with the imposition of tax, it will fall to ₹18 or near about ₹20, but it is given in the question that it will be equal to, approximately it will be equals to ₹18. So it is given in option D. So option D is the correct answer. Now question number 26. Which of the following is not a part of Bertrand paradox definition? Given options are differentiated product of producers, capacity or supply constraints of producers, non-zero total profit earned by producers, none of the above. And as we know, in case of Burton paradox, shows that or stated that if there are two firms and they can achieve Nash equilibrium, and if they fix the price and marginal cost, then that is called Burton paradox. Two firms, if both the firms are in Nash equilibrium but they are charging price equal to marginal cost, and that option is not given in question number 26. So Burton paradox definition is not given in question number 26. So here the correct answer is option D, none of the above. Next, in a Stackelberg quantity leadership model, which is true? Given options are: Fowler incorporates leader's reaction function in its profit maximization. Leader incorporates Fowler's reaction function in its profit maximization. Leader acts as a monopolist and all Fowlers act as competitive firms. It is one such game where both leader and Fowler act simultaneously. And as we know, in case of Stackelberg quantity leadership model, the leader incorporates the Fowler's reaction function in its profit maximization, and it is given in option B. So here the correct answer is option B, where the leader incorporates Fowler's reaction function in its profit maximization. Then the next one, given below are statements of a cattle. Cattle act like a monopoly. Farms under cattle compete on output quantity rather than on price. Farms can earn higher profits in cattle compared to Carnot Nash equilibrium. Cattle can exist even in perfect competition also. And out of the given four statement, and first one, cattle acts like a monopoly, is true so far as cattle is concerned. And option C, farms can earn higher profits in cattle compared to Carnot Nash equilibrium, is also true so far as the concept of cattle is concerned. So option 1 and 3 are correct. So here option 3 is the correct answer, which include both 1 and 3. Then next, which is not true for a perfect competition? Given options are: non-homogeneous product of farms, asymmetric information among buyer and seller, perfect competition market is capable of achieving Pareto efficient allocation even when externalities are present. And last option is all the above. And which is not true for the perfect competition? All the given options are not true or incorrect. So here the correct answer is option D, all the above. Then next, a price discriminating monopolist will be able to earn higher profits if given options are: higher prices charged in the sub-market having greater price elasticity of demand, lower prices charged in the sub-market having greater price elasticity of demand, price elasticity in all sub-markets are equal, marginal cost in each sub-market is equal to the marginal revenue of total output, and price discrimination becomes profitable if the monopolist will charge higher price where elasticity of demand is less, or where demand is less elastic, and if he charges less price where elasticity of demand is more elastic. So here the correct answer is option B, lower price is charged in the sub-market having greater price elasticity. Remember, the monopolist will charge higher price where elasticity is less or less elastic, and charge lower price or less price where elasticity is more elastic or demand is more elastic. So option B is the correct answer. Then next, the marginal productivity theory of distribution is explained by J.V. Clark in his book. Given options are: Social Justice Without Socialism, Essentials of Economic Theory, The Distribution of Wealth, A Theory of Wages, Interest and Profits, The Philosophy of Wealth, Economic Principles Newly Formulated. And here the books given by J.V. Clark is The Distribution of Wealth, a theory of wages, interest and profit. So option C is the correct answer. Now coming to question number 32, the problems of adverse selection in economics arises due to given options are: the principal can observe directly action of agents, heavy taxation, monopoly market problems and systematic information, the full information among economic agents on product qualities, a situation where sellers have information that buyers do not have or vice versa about some aspects of product quality. And the problem of adverse selection in economics arises due to a situation where sellers have information that buyers do not have or vice versa about some aspect of product quality. So here the correct answer is option D. Then the next one, consider a random experiment where two dice are rolled and all outcomes are equally likely. Let n1 the number that come up on the first die and let n2 be the number that come up on the second die. For a random variable x equal to n1 plus n2, what is expected value? Expected value of x, ex. So two dice are rolled, one after another, two dice are rolled. In case of when we are throwing two dice, and there will be 36 possibilities, 36 sample space is 36, and now here the value x, random variable x, it represent n1 plus n2. N1 represent the number on the first dice, n2 represent the number on the second dice. So value of x, it will be varies from if one come in the first die and again one comes in the second die, then value will be x equal to 1 plus 1, it will be 2. Similarly, the minimum value of x is 2, the maximum value, it will be maximum number on the dice, it can be 6 plus 6 equal to 12. So value of x, it can varies between 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 12. The maximum value on the two dice, it will be 12. The minimum value on the two dice, it will be 1 plus 1 equal to 2. Now we have to calculate the expected value of x. Now here the expected value of x, the formula is sum of xi into pxi. Sum of xi into pxi, and as we know x varies from 2 to 12. We have to find out its probability. Probability for getting a sum of 2, probability for getting a sum of 3, similarly probability for getting a sum of 4, 5, 6 up to 12. Then we can use the formulas, sum of xi into pxi. If we apply the formula, then we can get the answer equal to 7, which is given in option B. So remember, here the variable x, it represents the sum of the number on the dice. So the number on the first dice plus the number on the second dice, and the number, the minimum possibility is 2. If one comes in the first thrown and again one comes in the second thrown, then it will be 2, and the maximum possibility is 6 plus 6 equals to 12. So it will varies from 2 to 12. Then we have to apply the formula, expected value of x equal to summation of xi into pxi. If we use the formula, we will get the value equal to 7. So option B is the correct answer. Then next, the speculative demand for money is a function of, and as we know, the speculative demand for money depends on the rate of interest. Given options are level of income, level of prices, rate of interest, level of profit, and the rate of interest is given in option C. So option C is the correct answer, rate of interest. Then next, Keynes identified that large chronic unemployment during the worldwide economic depression of 1930s was a result of, given options are non-clearing labor market and low wage rates, high real interest rates, voluntary choice of employment opportunities by workers, failure of effective demand. And the main reason of the chronic unemployment during the worldwide economic depression of 1930s was failure of effective demand, and it is given in option D. So option D is the correct answer. Then the next, a barter economy is different from a money economy in that barter economy, given options are, promotes market exchange value, involves higher cost for each transaction than a money economy, encourages specialization and division of labor, eliminates the need for a double coincidence of ones. And a barter economy is different from money economy in that a barter economy, it involves higher cost for each transaction than a money economy. So here the correct answer is option B, that it involves, or barter economy, it involves higher cost for each transaction than a money economy. So option B is the correct answer. Next, when two regression lines y on x and x on y coincide each other, then there will be very low correlation between x and y. The correlation between x and y is not perfect. The correlation between x and y is perfect, and we cannot say anything on correlation between x and y. And when two regression lines coincide on each other, that means there exists perfect correlation between x and y. If the regression lines is upward sloping, that means there exists perfect positive correlation. If it is downward sloping, that means there exists perfect negative correlation between the two variables. So here the question was about when two lines of regression they coincide each other, that means there exists perfect correlation between the two variables x and y. Then question number 38, which is true for the binomial distribution? Given options are, the random experiment is performed repeatedly a finite and fixed number of times. The outcome of the random experiment result in dichotomous events. All the trials are independent. Last option is all the above. And in case of binomial distribution, as we know, all the trials they are independent of each other, and the outcome of the random experiment results in dichotomous events, and the random experiment is performed repeatedly a fixed and finite number of times. So here n is fixed and finite, and probability p and q neither very close to 0 nor very close to 1. So all the given options are correct. So here the correct answer is option D. In case of binomial distribution, all the trial becomes independent, and the outcome of random experiment result in dichotomous event, and the random experiment is performed repeatedly a fixed and finite number of times. So here the correct answer is option D, all the above. So friends, we have completed up to question number 38, and if you like the video, then please share it with your friends, and please give your valuable comments, and keep watching my other videos also. Thank you.